Welcome to RawTake, everyone, the lifeline to your unfiltered media experience. I'm your host, Gion Thomas, and this is my co-host, Archie, and we got a great show for y'all today. And before we get into the show, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any uploads. Also, you can find us anywhere where you listen to podcasts. Yeah. So today we will be talking about a lawyer. His name is Mr. Leslie. I'm drawing a blank on his last name, but he's an attorney, and he did not. He got COVID, and he did not go to the hospital. And he said he was going to, try and wait it out. And they found him dead in his home. And we're going to be talking about that. But before we get into the show, let's look at this clip of him.
I feel pretty rough. I've got a very high temperature. Some pain, some shivers, cold in my extremities. It feels exactly like a cold, maybe a little bit worse. When I stand up, I feel like I'm going to fall over. I can't remember if I've ever had that. Never have had a cold before. I hope I've got it. I hope it is COVID. Because I'd rather have the antibodies in my blood than take the jabs. Anyone who knows my opinion, anyone who has followed my comments on my Facebook page knows what I feel about the jab. So this is an update on the vlog that I made yesterday. I've already posted on Facebook that last night was pretty dreadful. The symptoms that I had at 11:30 had massively ramped up. I don't know how long. It's probably about 6 hours I spent in a fetal position, trying to block out the pain. It was every part of my body was racked with the pain. If these are things that we have to suffer, it's part of living. You have to trust your immune system. And if the alternative is that we live in fear, that we create a bogeyman out of something that hopefully I'm showing isn't anything to be afraid of, for 99.9% of us, we've got to deal with that. We've got to make the government aware that that is how we feel. People get flu, people get colds, people endure it and then get on with their lives. That's the way it's always been. COVID-19, in my view, and from what I've experienced so far, is nothing different. But the dangers of potential dangers from taking the experimental jab, for me, are not worth that risk. I'd rather take my chances with my immune system.
So, this guy thought he was going to be part of that 99% that survived, and he was on the other end of the spectrum. I don't know who gets colds and they're wrapped up in the fetal position, or they feel like they're about to fall out every time they get up. I don't know what kind of cold that is. He said it was like the common cold, and it's just that's not like the common cold. No, not one at all. Exactly. So, Arch, what are? Tell us a little bit about what you're thinking, man.
It's not funny, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain that feeling that it makes you have when you look at him. How how adamant he was about not taking his vaccine, and how he felt like the jab of the experimental drug was such a threat. He said that he's not willing to take that risk. He'd rather take his chances and trust his immune system. That's fine. But look where that got him.
Yeah.
If he's going to, come on. First off, there is no cold in this world that would make you, not a common cold, that would make everything in your body hurt. The flu can make you hurt, but a common cold would not make you. You can have a common cold and not even really know you have a common cold.
Yeah.
So, to me, it was just pure ignorance, man. And I don't mean that in a way of talking about his intellect or anything, but it was ignorant because, like it was said previously in another show, people perish for a lack of knowledge. And this man, because he didn't understand what the vaccine really is, uh, apparently didn't understand what COVID is either. I mean, because if he did, he would have said, "Oh, I wish it was COVID." Like taunting COVID. It's like taunting someone that has a gun right in your face, trying to rob you. Say, "I'm gonna shoot you if you don't give it to me," and you say, "Well, shoot me then."
Yeah.
Why take that chance? Why? It doesn't make sense.
It's just, like you said, man, he was taunting. He was like, I hope it's COVID. Why in the hell would you hope that it was COVID? So many people are dying. As we had the Houston Health Department people on, there are people with lingering COVID effects way after they get COVID.
Yeah.
So even if you don't die, which this guy did die, you have these lingering effects. COVID lungs. You have scar tissue among scar tissue on your lungs from COVID. There was a story today. There was a man. He was out here. He was on a ventilator, and his tongue swole up. Like his tongue was swollen out of his mouth. People are just not looking at the effects, the long-term effects, what can possibly happen. People are just like, well, I'm not going to get the jab or I'm not going to get the shot. And then they die or they get severely sick. It's just, to me, it's asinine that thinking like, yes. And I know we always talk about distrusting your government, but like these vaccines are saving lives. These vaccines,
yes.
People are not dying from the vaccine. Those are called breakthrough cases, which means those are happening far and few in between. And people are like, well, there's a bunch of people dying from vaccine. That's not even true. That's not even true. We had even somebody in the comment section saying that they work in pathology, that they've never seen a death certificate that said death due to COVID vaccine. That's not true. That's not real. Exactly.
Which is more of a reason to go get tested and then go get the vaccine. If you have COVID, then you can go through the necessary steps to get rid of it. If you don't have COVID, then you need to get the vaccine. And then if you have COVID, once you've gotten over it and the time has passed, it needs to pass before you can take the vaccine, you need to get vaccinated. People have to stop believing the stupidity of all the hype that people put out there. My thing is, if you don't want to get vaccinated and you want to taunt COVID like it's a joke, you do it alone. But don't try to push that off on other people.
Yeah,
because that's stupid. Because if they believe, think about the people who may be following this guy, who may believe everything he said, and that's their same mentality now because of hearing him, and then they go and catch COVID. Then you have another person that's going to potentially die because they're following some stupidity.
I wonder what people will say about him dying. What the people who deny COVID, the people who deny the vaccinations, what are you going to say about this man's death? He didn't die of COVID. He died of, I don't know. What are you going to say? What lie are you going to possibly come out to try and negate this man's death?
It's going to be something stupid, yeah. Something stupid. And then, like we were saying with each other, if all of this stuff exists in the vaccine, like the nanotech and all of that stuff, and people say, well, they're going to be able to know what you know and see where you go and whatever. They already can do that. Thank you. This camera that I'm looking at, I'm looking at the camera, but guess what? The camera's looking at me.
Exactly.
My computer right here. They can see everything in my room. They can already do that. So if they put nanotech in the vaccine, people get vaccinated, like you say, Gion, then what? Come on, people.
My whole question is, where does it lead to? Where
exactly?
What is the? Because they already, like we always talk on the show, they already financially can control us. They already have these new kind of chains, so they don't need to do nanotechnology. They don't need to know where you're at. They don't. None of that. does not necessarily make any sense. And you know, even if it does have nanotechnology 10 years down the line, and you know, what if it was used for good, and what if it wasn't used for bad? You know, we just don't know. We don't know. And then, you know, they put horrible stuff in our bodies every day, and people put horrible stuff in our bodies every day. I mean, people eat McDonald's, people eat fast foods. Our foods are processed.
McDonald's today.
Exactly, bro. Like, you know, our vegetables aren't even really vegetables sometimes. Like, you know, there's so much chemicals and processed, and you know, stuff being processed throughout our food. You know, like our bodies are already infected with so many different toxins and bad things. I just don't think the vaccine is going to be the thing that's going to kill you. And you know, like I always say, man, after my 94-year-old grandma got the shot and she was fine, half the people got the shot in my family. Half the people in my family didn't even have like you know, some people get tired after they got the shot. I didn't get tired. My grandmother didn't get tired. My mom didn't get tired. My sister got tired. But you know, like, you know, it's not that bad. And
it's not, man. I've been vaccinated. I'm not fully vaccinated, but I've had the first one, and I got tired. But what is now that, you know, the dude said, well, it's a risk and I'm not willing to take. I'd rather take a risk with a risk of being tired or maybe even having a headache or two, but my body be safe from COVID, something that can kill me, because you're not going to die from being tired.
Yeah.
So I'd rather take that risk and be tired than to take that risk of potentially catching COVID and not having anything in my system to fight against it. Your body can't fight against something that it doesn't already know about. It has to be taught. That's why you get immunizations when you're a kid, to teach your body, because you're about to be exposed to a whole bunch of different germs and stuff. So it teaches your body how to fight against those potential harms and dangers. So I feel like some people that would get that's okay with getting the flu shot are not okay with getting this COVID vaccine. And that doesn't make sense. But it's all due to things that people have said, conspiracy theories that people put out there. And some people just, those who are not persuaded by those things and still just don't want to get the vaccine, the only thing I can chop that up to is that's just being ignorant.
Man, and but you know, it is on a level, you know, it is some ignorance. I mean, it's a lot of ignorance, but you got to also, you know, the people didn't just get like this overnight. This has happened over years, and it's happened over years, you know, with distrust with the government. The government has, you got the Tuskegee trials, and where they were supposed to be treating people for syphilis, but they were letting cases go rampant. You have this case that happened, I think it was along the border. They were infecting these Hispanic people with this virus, and that's something that really happened. So you know, America has a long history of, you know, distrust and using its people for harm. So you know, and the government is still doing that. So you're gonna have people who are going to be skeptical of
I was skeptical.
Pandemic. I mean, exactly. Who's going to be? But they're going to be skeptical of the pandemic, skeptical of the vaccine. Just, you know, there's a lot of skeptical people, and you have a right to be skeptical. Your government has lied to you for years, and hid the truth, and you know, that's understandable. People are going to have a level of distrust, but that's why it's so important to do your own research, to try and listen to some valuable resources. I mean, news sources. You know, it's just it's a game, and even if you don't get the vaccine, because I understand, like, and I'm not even for, like, I understand people wanting the right to say no to the vaccine. I do believe that's your American right. If, you know, we got a lot of rights in this country. If you don't want to get the vaccine, that's fine. But take proper precautions. Do
Yes.
make sure your immune system is up. Make sure you're wearing your mask. Make sure you're out there exercising, that you got a healthy diet. If you don't take
Yes.
the vaccine, live a healthy lifestyle, because at the end of the day, it does not matter. It's about your immune system. And yes, sometimes your immune system can be compromised, and sometimes you're not part of that 99% of people who but so just take care of yourself. Make sure you're doing the proper things. If you don't want to get the vaccine, if you want to get the vaccine, then get the vaccine. I think there's this weird place we're in where everybody wants everything to get back to normal. I understand that. And sometimes you'll have people like, oh, well, you need to get the vaccine, and yes, those people do need to get the vaccine, but sometimes, like, you can't just try and force that among people. You can't force people to do things. And so it's really a slippery slope. And I know there's going to be people on both sides of the argument that'll say this and that. But it's okay, fine. Everybody got their argument. Everybody got their talking points. But at the end of the day, do stuff to make sure your health is better. Make sure you wear your mask. If you're not going to get the vaccine, just make sure you're going to take care of yourself and the people around you. If you don't get the vaccine, well, tell other people to get the vaccine, because then you create a border around you, which is fine. That is fine. Like my little niece can't get the vaccine, so everybody who a lot of the adults around her have gotten the vaccine, so we can create that protective border around her. And it's just, you have to do more for your people, and you have to do more for the people in your community. And that may be getting a vaccine, or that may be telling someone to become more healthier, so they are at less risk to get COVID.
Absolutely, Gion. You said a lot. That's just what it is, people. I mean, the thing is, COVID is real. It's still killing people every day.
Yeah.
Somebody's getting sick or dying from this virus, and so it is something that we should take seriously, and not, definitely don't want to be taunting it like it's some kind of a joke, or that you can just defeat it like that. Like, it's not that easily defeated. So, and it's definitely not like a common cold or the flu. I mean, I guess it's similar to the flu, but it's way worse. So, it's because people need to look at the things around them, look at the facts, look at these results, and let that be. You can let that be either a factor in whether or not you get the vaccine, or whether or not you practice better health activities or whatever. But I mean, look around you. That's what I have to say. Look around you. People are dying. People are like this guy getting on Facebook and doing updates every day. All up until, how many days was he even alive, Gion, when he first started? Like, it was like 3 or 4 days before he didn't post again.
Yeah, and they found him dead in his apartment or his house.
I think it was like 3 or 4 days. And like I said before, if you don't want to get the vaccine, that's fine. But there's other things you got to do to get over COVID. You can't just not do anything.
Yeah.
If you want to take care of yourself, that's fine. I know people that took care of themselves at home after getting COVID, but they did it properly. They sanitized everything. They quarantined. They just practiced all the safety precautions. If they could exercise, they did that. They act as though they had COVID. And the thing is, like, one thing, because I was a skeptic about it as well, about the vaccine, but I was never a skeptic about COVID. I believed that right off the bat, because people were dying.
Yeah.
And people I know had got COVID. My sister had gotten COVID. In fact, my sister, I think, got COVID twice. And thanks to God that she was asymptomatic both times. But and I have an uncle that caught COVID. I have another sister, an older sister, that also caught COVID, and it's been past, it's been past that 14-day think it's 14 days, right?
Yeah.
It's been past that, and she's still having symptoms. Just kind of just resonated with her
Yeah,
body.
lingering.
Just still there, it's lingering. Every day is something, and it's been like weeks. So to just act like this disease, this thing, this virus doesn't really exist, or to treat it as though it's something you can easily defeat, that's stupidity. The virus, the vaccine helps your body fight against the virus. So why take the chance? This is what taking that chance can get you. Exactly where this guy went in his grave.
Yeah. And
And I'd rather take the chance of getting the vaccine, than to take the chance on getting the virus and dying. I mean, come on.
yeah, and that had to be miserable. His last day. I mean, he even said his last days were miserable. You died a miserable death in your
And
home,
painful.
painful, not
And it all
probably
could have been avoided.
breathe. Yeah, and it all could have been avoided.
Absolutely. That is the thing that people need to pay attention to. It could all be avoided if you just get the vaccine. This is not raw take trying to push you into doing anything that you don't want to do, but this is raw take telling you that it's better to get vaccinated for the safety of yourself as well as your loved ones and other people you come in contact with. It's better to get vaccinated than to take the chance on getting the virus and dying. That's what we're pushing.
And my thing is when the rich and the local official, and I mean not even just local officials, and the officials and your politicians start getting it. I mean that they not gonna get it for no reason, man. They are not gonna get it for no reason.
So if they're getting it, and they went in droves as soon as they found out. Let's go.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? If they went to get it, then it can't be nothing so bad. And it's got to be something that is worth taking a chance with. And so some risks are not worth taking. When it comes down to taking the risk of not getting the vaccine and possibly catching COVID and dying,
Life or
that risk is not worth taking.
Yeah, it's a life or death situation, and you gotta pick.
Yeah.
Don't pick death. I just
Yeah, please don't pick that.
Don't pick death. And when you first hear this story, there are gonna be people who chuckle at it, and because you're like, well, you get what you deserve, and that's I'm kind of that mindset, but you got to have some kind of compassion, and I understand. I understand people, and I understand a distrust in the government, and I mean, hell, I distrust the government. I mean, I
anybody with common sense should.
Exactly. So, and I'm trying to work in the government, so it's just. You put people in a real hard predicament, but you don't want death. You don't want to wish death on nobody. And it's just sad that, you're going to have more people like this. You're going to have more incidents like this. You're going to have more people who are going to deny COVID. They may even get COVID and then think, oh, well, this is just like a regular cold. This is like the regular flu. I'll be all right. And, either you can either have death or you can have lingering side effects that can last for years.
Yeah.
And that's just, life is too short and you want to enjoy your life. You don't want to be taking a couple of steps and then you gotta like catch a breather because you got COVID lungs now.
Yeah. You know what? I want to hit on the other guy, the guy that he was a church member, and this guy, being a Christian, God gives us common sense. God does not. He told us in the Word, don't test Him. We're not supposed to test God because when you test God, it's just like that man taunting the COVID. So it's one thing to have faith in God that God can hear you because God can hear you from anything. I believe that. However, like I said before, God gives you common sense. And it's just like the Bible tells us that we're supposed to obey the law of the land. Uh, God does not make us be ignorant. This man died saying that he wasn't going to get vaccinated, or even I think he didn't even get really treated for COVID after he got it, and he was believing that his faith, and then that some people in the church, they were like in agreement with it and supporting his his belief or whatever, which is that's fine. You believe that, of course, that's fine. Of course, if you're a Christian, you're supposed to believe that God can heal you, but as I said before, God does not leave us ignorant, and God does not He does not lead us into doing things that can harm us. So if there's something put in place that can help you save your life, then you can't think that you can't just say, well, I'm not going to get that, because it's just like if you get shot and you say, well, I got shot, I'm not going to get the bullet taken out or whatever. I'm just going to leave it in. God's it'll be all right.
God he go, woo. He gonna put his healing hands on me, and I'm gonna be all right.
I mean, the fact is, if you get shot, all this just shot, just messed all up. The first thing you're gonna do is want to get to the hospital.
Yeah.
Okay. So
he gonna be, God, please let me make it to the hospital.
If now, where's your faith at that point? You still believe God can heal you, but you also know you need to go and see that doctor.
Exactly.
Because that's why God put them here. So God allowed them to come up with this vaccine that can save your life. Why not get it? Why just say, whatever, I'm going to die? You can die before your time. And most times if that happens, it's probably because of stupidity. Something you did that was stupid. And so this is not to mock anyone that has their beliefs or whatever, because I am a Christian as well. And I definitely believe God can heal me from anything. He's already healed me from a lot of things. But I got vaccinated because God didn't make me stupid. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I just, and we're not really, I was skeptical of the vaccine at first. We were both skeptical. So I'm not really trying to like push it. This is not a show to push the vaccine on people. That's
right.
Not it at all. It's just, if you don't, then just please stay 6 feet away apart from each other. Don't try to, go out to the bars and clubs and, just
act like COVID don't exist.
Yeah, don't act like COVID don't exist. And don't try and belittle people who do believe in it and who've lost people. I've lost 3 people close to me. That's sad. That is sad. And one of them was someone my age. That's sad.
So that's why I said look around, and look at the facts, look at the results, and make your decision from that. Yeah.
So, guys, that's our show. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any uploads. Also, you can find us anywhere where you can listen to podcasts. Thank y'all for watching. Y'all have a blessed day.